So I'm going to go ahead and get started. And for anyone that may be joining us a little bit later, this meeting is being recorded, just so that everyone is aware. And if you have to leave or pause or you want to jump back in, but you want to watch the whole workshop, we are recording this, of course, so you will be able to watch the full playback. And of course, if you have any friends or neighbors or colleagues or anyone in your San Carlos network that is missing this meeting tonight, they will be able to watch the playback, and we'll have some surveys and opportunity to take the polling, to participate in some of the polling questions that will be asked this evening. So without further ado, I would just like to welcome everyone to the first community workshop for the City of San Carlos's Downtown Specific Plan project. So this project kicks off the civic engagement phase of the project, where city staff and the consultant team will be working with all community members to create a shared vision for the future of downtown. Again, my name is Lisa Porras. I'm the planning manager in the Advanced Planning Division here at the City of San Carlos, and I'm going to be going over a few introductory and housekeeping items just to help us get ready for tonight's meeting. The first thing I would like to do is introduce the workshop team, the team that's here this evening. But before I get to that, I would just like to take the opportunity to welcome Mayor Sarah McDowell, who is joining us this evening, and who would like to say a few words. So thank you, Mayor, and take it away.
Thank you, Lisa. My name is Sarah McDowell, and I'm the Mayor of San Carlos. And I'd like to welcome everyone to the first community-wide workshop to establish a shared vision and new plan for our downtown. For the past 2 years, creating a plan for the downtown has been a priority of the City Council. The fundamental goal is to ensure that the downtown meets the needs of the community and businesses now and into the future. It is heartening and encouraging to see that over 200 members of our community have signed up for this workshop and are ready to work with city staff and the consultant team to not only tackle some challenges, but also leverage our collective creativity to build upon the strengths of our downtown. We know that the needs of our community are wide-ranging, and the first phase of our work here will be to identify those needs. This effort includes multiple community-wide workshops and a 19-member advisory committee to help ensure specific interests of the community are heard and are reflected in the plan. Tonight's workshop is the kickoff of a 2-year process that will explore ideas that address Laurel Street, outdoor dining, and the overall look and feel of the streets. But in addition to that, this project will also focus on the design and heights of buildings, public spaces such as parks and plazas, community events, and the management of traffic and all forms of mobility and circulation. We will also tackle the longstanding issue of alleys and develop strategies that not only improve their function, but improve their appearance as well. Ultimately, the specific plan will guide change in a way that is meaningful and transformational, that uplifts and inspires multiple generations, not only in the downtown, but throughout our city. The city staff has worked very hard to reach out to community members and stakeholders. Thank you for joining, and I hope you stay connected and continue to participate throughout the life of this project. And now I will turn it back over to Lisa Porras.
Thank you, Mayor McDowell. That was an awesome kickoff to our workshop. Thank you so much. So I'll go ahead and get started with the rest of my slides here. And the first step is to introduce everyone to the team that is here for you this evening. Joining me this evening is the Community and Economic Development Director, Al Sabay, on the city side. And we also have some additional city staff assisting us later on. On the consultant side, leading the effort is Jamie Williams. She is a principal with RRM Design Group, and joining her is Abe Shepard, as well as Rachel Rayner. We just like to go over a couple of additional things. As I mentioned before, this meeting is being recorded, and the recording will be available on the project website, which is sancarlosdowntownplan.com. So you'll be able to view that there and direct your friends and neighbors to also watch the replay. We ask that your microphones stay muted during the presentation. We want to make sure we get a clear recording of tonight's meeting. The only exception, of course, will be for the presenters themselves. And if you have any questions or comments that you would like to pose to us, you can certainly use the chat feature, which should be located at the bottom of your screen. And following the interactive poll, we will pause for a moment to answer any clarifying questions that you may have. For questions that are a little bit more technical or that involve a little bit more research or work, we are going to be preparing a FAQ, or frequently asked questions memo, and be loading that up on the project website as well. So to get us started, as a reminder, I think we're all kind of used to Zoom these days, but I think there is a couple more. Let me just make sure. There we go. I just like to have everything on the screen at once. So just to get us oriented, at the bottom of your screen, as a reminder, you will see the unmute and stop video or start video buttons. This will be on the lower left-hand portion of your screen. To pose a question at the bottom again, but more towards the middle, it looks like a text icon, is the chat feature. There you can post questions and comments. We will be collecting all of the chat from tonight's meetings, so feel free to use that as much as you like. And at the top right, you can switch the view to just see the speaker or to kind of check out the gallery. You're welcome to do that as well. Tonight's workshop agenda will include an overview of the project and the role of the specific plan. We really want to set the stage and provide you with a good base to launch from, and to be able to provide us with some really good comments. As part of tonight's workshop, we're also going to be conducting an interactive poll using an app called Slido. This will consist of a series of questions, and you will be able to respond to those, and some of those responses will be generated back on the screen, and we can see those happening in real time. So this is a really cool way to kind of get a pulse of the community and all of your comments. Finally, at the end of tonight's workshop, we are going to be indicating additional ways that you can get involved and kind of going over the overall project schedule. But as you heard at the beginning, during the mayor's comments, this is the beginning of a 2-year project. We hope to wrap up in the month of March 2024 with a plan that is adopted by our city council. And then finally, at the end of this workshop, we are offering and inviting you to participate in breakout rooms. This will be an opportunity where if there's anything else you want to share and have a dialogue with a number of different staff from the city, staff from the consulting side, we're going to offer that opportunity for you. You can attend and say what you'd like to say and go. You don't have to stay for the whole time, but you are certainly invited to stay for as long as you like. And we're aiming to close the workshop by 8 o'clock tonight. The boundaries of the Downtown Specific Plan include what most of us know as the downtown core, which is a 600, I think you can see my cursor here, 600, 700, and 800 blocks of Laurel Street. But in addition to that, the boundaries of the study area that we will be looking at as part of this specific plan extend outwards to the north, which is bounded by Holly Street over here on the left-hand side of the screen, and to Greenwood Avenue on the right-hand side of the screen. To the east, the project will include El Camino Real. It'll go all the way out to the edge of El Camino Real towards the east. And on the west side, it will include Walnut Street over here, and then cut in behind Bianchini's and wrap around to include the parcels that front onto Laurel Street in this area here, where hopefully you all can see my mouse. The dotted green lights refer to the streets that basically surround the Civic Center. Those streets, while we won't be looking at specific land use or other interventions on specific property, we will be looking, however, at the overall look and feel of the streetscape, as the proximity of the Civic Center to the downtown area is very clear here, and we want to make sure we include it. So the project will also include these streets as well, as shown in the dotted green line. The team that is working on this project includes a key set of city staff here at the city, including myself, but it also includes some consultants that are going to be assisting the city in this effort. RRM Design Group is the lead consultant, and working with them, there are several sub-consultants noted here on the screen. One is W-Trans, they specialize in traffic and mobility and circulation. Lamphere Gregory will be assisting us with what we refer to as an environmental impact report, which will be a full environmental analysis on the project. Once we decide what that's going to be, how it's going to look, what's included, there will be a full evaluation on that. We also have the Nadelson Dale Group, who's going to help us with the economics of the project, as well as GPA Consulting, who will be doing a historic overview of the area. I think maybe there's one other firm that's missing on the screen, which is now actually, no, I think this is everyone. I apologize. Yeah, so this is your full team on the project this evening. So now, without further ado, I am going to turn the microphone over to Jamie Williams, who's going to get us right into the main menu of tonight's workshop. Jamie.
Thank you, Lisa. Hello, everyone. We're very excited to be here to discuss this wonderful project with you this evening and gather your input. As Lisa mentioned, this is an overview of what a specific plan is, what the project can and can't do, and some of our preliminary findings, existing conditions. So next slide, please. So it's important to understand a specific plan is a policy document and how it fits into other city documents. Every city in California has community has a general plan, which is the city's long-term vision for the future. It has the goals and objectives that help guide the physical development, and your general plan sets that vision and goals for until 2030. The zoning code is a complementary document that really establishes what can happen on private land. It establishes land uses and development standards which regulate height, and density, and setbacks, the building form, and other things like signage and the like. That's all contained in your zoning code. A specific plan is a very cool tool that is unique to the state of California, where it basically allows you to create a plan or a mini zoning code for a specific area. So it captures many of the things within the zoning code. It is important to note that it has to be consistent with the general plan, or you need to go through a little amendment process. But it establishes a vision and direction for the future. It provides an opportunity for customized regulations. So building heights and things no longer are regulated through the zoning code, but through this special document. It takes precedence over the zoning code where there is sort of conflict. And it is evaluated for environmental impact and establishes environmental clearances for future development. Next slide. So, as I stated, this is not a project. This is a plan or a document that is, in fact, the roadmap for the future. So, this downtown specific plan, through engaging the community and stakeholders and the like, will help to really set a clear vision for the future of downtown. What it'll look like, how it'll function. It'll discuss it'll include the desired balance of land uses, how much office, how much residential, how much retail, restaurants, and the like. It is intended to increase the economic vitality of the downtown businesses. It will establish design criteria for buildings, and it will establish maximum height limits. And it is also going to be the vehicle that we're going to use to explore whether to keep Laurel Street closed to automobiles and traffic or to reopen it. Next slide. So in addition to that, the specific plan takes a look at the public realm. So it creates sort of a master plan, if you will, for what happens on the public streets and in public spaces. We will look for opportunities to enliven the existing public spaces and create opportunities for future gathering spaces. We'll look at mobility, the walkability, the bicycling, the driving downtown, the parking downtown, how it all functions together. We're going to also look at how the downtown relates to the adjoining neighborhoods and those connections. And the important thing about a specific plan is it then creates a very specific roadmap to an implementation. It outlines the next steps. So while this project doesn't necessarily result in something that's going to be built today, it really establishes the priority projects and who's responsible for those projects over the next 20 years to see how it comes to fruition. And as I previously stated, it is evaluated and accompanied by an environmental impact report. Next slide. So it's important to note also what it does not do. It's not a specific development project. It's not promoting anything like someone's going to come in and build something immediately it could be an after effect, but that development will be a separate application and will have to adhere to the standards within this document. Sometimes I use the terminology project, and I apologize, and I don't want that to be confusing for you. To me, a specific plan is the project I'm working on. It does not mean that we're promoting any particular development. In addition to that, it's a guide to establish how privately led developments can and cannot be designed, and it will not enact eminent domain, which is when the public can take property to create public use. Next slide. Lisa. My partner in crime over there.
I'm still here. I'm just having a little bit of an
technical
issue. There we go. Thank you.
There, okay. So I want to take a minute to tell you a little bit about our initial observations. As Lisa stated, and it's super important that you know, this is the very beginning stages of the project. And the best way for us to provide all of the things I just described is to really gather an understanding of what's there today, what you, the community, think, what you like, what you don't like, and then come up with some plans and opportunities for you to truth test throughout the process. So initially we took this map illustrates what the existing zoning is today. That will go away and it'll become a specific plan zone. We looked at where the street closure is, where the farmers market happens, where all the public parking exists downtown. And so this graphic just kind of talks through that. I'm going to give you, I'll go ahead to the next slide. So in order to get up to speed, RRM, the lead consultant, and our team is really taking a deeper dive into a number of topics. We're looking at land use and development regulations, mobility, placemaking, and infrastructure. In doing so, we conducted a city-led walking tour. We are currently reading through all of your background and existing documents. We've conducted a site analysis. We have an economist who's doing a market analysis. We have a historic consultant who's evaluating kind of a high-level historic character and observations. We have a traffic engineer that's looking at parking and mobility. We have civil engineers that are looking at infrastructure, and we're conducting a very robust community engagement process. I'm going to share a few highlights of our findings to date, but I also want to mention that there's an upcoming meeting. As part of this process, we have a downtown advisory committee, and that group is meeting again on the 13th of September. And some of these consultants are going to come to share a little bit more in-depth detail on what their analysis has revealed. But with that, I'd like to give you a quick overview of what we found. So Lisa, next slide. And we're going to go kind of quickly, Lisa. So we're going to do pictures and then I'll read the text. So this is just a quick observation of the number of different uses that are in downtown. There's housing downtown, there's restaurants, retail, you have gas stations, you have hospitality, you have churches. It's a very eclectic mix, which is great to create a vibrant downtown. Next slide. Our a specific plan has a number of objectives. These are the things that we're hoping to accomplish as we write the plan. We want to make sure we're promoting a sense of place and an identity that's unique to San Carlos downtown. We want to establish design parameters and guidelines and standards that really focus on quality development. We want to establish zoning and land use policies that promote that vibrant downtown experience that you all enjoy and want to keep going. We also will take a look at the city's formula retail ordinance. You have an existing ordinance in place that regulates kind of what kind of retail can go where. So we'll take a look at that. And we want to make sure this plan supports small businesses. Next slide. This slide illustrates what our economist has found to date. He's going to go into a lot more detail at that meeting in September, but there's a lot of great opportunities. There's a lot of strengths that occur in your downtown today. You have pretty high income levels of your residents and a strong per capita retail sales. There's a great proximity to major employment areas, and there's potentially new housing opportunities within the area. The flip side of that is a lot of folks are going outside of downtown to, it's the leakage. I'm on the weakness side. Leakage is a term that's used to saying people are shopping somewhere else. And we want to kind of figure out why and how to maybe capture that. There's limited land that's available. They're all small, a lot of small projects. So your redevelopment opportunities are a bit limited. There's disconnect to the businesses outside of the Laurel core. Other opportunities are to recapture that leakage, to build on the successes of recent high density residential projects. When people are living downtown, they can go walk easily and shop and eat downtown. There's going to be a significant amount of new development that will happen over time in the East Side Innovation District. So really focusing on the connectivity to that district and the services needed to support that district will be important. And looking into the Laurel Street closure. And then just paying attention, global changes in retail. You know, there's a lot of people that in the pandemic decided that it was a lot easier just to order on Amazon. So recognizing that and have the impacts associated with that, as well as compatibility to density and competition from neighboring downtowns. Next slide. We also look at placemaking. Placemaking is a term, it's a bit of a plannery term, but it's really just what makes a space cool. It's about your streetscape and your shade and your public art and your plazas and your amphitheaters and your wayfinding. It's all the components that kind of create the public space identity. Next slide. So this plan will take a deeper dive into what could be better. We'll look for ways to promote a walkable and livable environment by really unifying the streetscape character, meaning finding benches and trash cans and the like that are consistent and really help shape that identity. We will look for opportunities to create outdoor dining and parklets and downtown events, maybe in a more permanent setting. We'll consider a permanent Laurel Street closure. I think it's important to note that a lot of things happened during the pandemic, and cities all over the world scrambled to figure out how to make that happen. The Laurel Street closure was really a opportunity, and but it was put together for a temporary purpose. So we're going to revisit if that's desired by the community to keep it closed from vehicles. What could it look like? How could it be redesigned and reinvented to really serve as more of a plaza and an opportunity that serves all? The city is currently working on a citywide wayfinding program. So making sure that's connected and additional wayfinding that's necessary to serve the downtown is addressed. There is an existing parking area off of Laurel that's always been identified or recently been identified as a plaza. So we'll look for ways to design that plaza. That's a little sketch of what it could be. And we'll take a look at Harrington Park. I think it's a really neat space. It's so great that it's right downtown, but we'll take a look at if maybe there's a way to utilize that space a little bit better and what the community would like to see there. Next slide. We'll also take a look at mobility. The walkability, there's some issues because of the temporariness of the closure. You know, sidewalks can be constrained and feel a little bit canyon-like. There's also a limited amount of crossings across El Camino, and just ensuring pedestrian safety, promoting better sidewalk conditions, better bicycling network, and the like. Next slide. The words that we're going is, your alleys are a mess, but I was trying not to say that, but your alleys are a mess. So we'll be really looking at ways to improve and create a better environment that's easier to navigate for the vehicles and the people that utilize your abbeys. It's an amazing opportunity to have parking behind, to have alley access so that you can have more walkable space on the other side on the street side. And so just looking at how to better provide to clean up sort of the conflicts that exist today, where there's circulation and parking and business access and loading and trash, all sort of conflicting. How can we clean that up and create a better environment that everyone can use? Next slide. I think the next slide shows, oh no, not yet. And then we'll also, as I mentioned, really making sure we're addressing all modes of travel, as well as coordinating parking management. So as your public works department did a great job of creating sort of temporary parking conditions and the like, but we will be looking at what that would look like in a more permanent condition. And then how to manage congestion and to improve those alleys, as I said before. Next slide. This is a couple of examples of just, what could happen. These are examples from other cities, but just looking at different markings and paving and ways to really embrace that space as opposed to it feeling like leftover space. Next slide. With that, I think you stop sharing and we'll let Rachel do her thing.
Yes, and I just want to make just a couple of reminders before we get started. After we get through this series of questions and the polling that's going to take place in just a moment, we will be coming back to answer any questions that might have been posed in the chat, anything that's clarifying. So we do want to provide an opportunity to do that once we get done with the polling. And then we'll have a couple more slides to go over before we go into the breakout rooms. So I'm going to go ahead and let me ask Rachel. Rachel, do you want to go over any of the instructions here before I stop sharing my screen? Maybe that would be helpful.
That would be great. I'm just going to throw the Slido link in the chat if folks want to join by logging on to the URL that you see on the screen. So I'm going to write that into the chat and then going to copy paste the code as well. So as you see on Lisa's screen, there are two options to join our interactive poll this evening. One is by either typing in an internet browser of your choice, sli.do, and then you see the hashtag or the pound symbol where it says enter event code. And you'll see that the event code is 3606582. So that's one method of joining. The other method of joining is using your camera application on your smartphone and hovering it on your screen over that QR code. So essentially the black and white jumbled kind of Pac-Man style image, and it should prompt you to say open in internet, and then you click on that link and it should take you to our first question. And as Lisa mentioned, it will be available after tonight for folks to participate.
Okay, great. Maybe we'll give folks just a chance to get their phones out. If they want to open up their camera and position it over that QR code. Or if they want to, I guess they would need to open up another browser, like you said, Rachel, and go to Slido, slido.com, and then enter in this number here. It's 360-658-2 into that event code. And is that something you're able to see on the back end, Rachel? On your other monitor? If people are
exactly?
joining, if people are
No,
watching.
unfortunately, not
Should
able
I
to.
go ahead and stop sharing my screen?
That would be great while folks are using one of our two options to join the Slido, and I can go ahead and start sharing the first question.
Perfect. I'm going to stop sharing. Great. And then Rachel, will we be hearing you walk through a series of questions here?
Abe and I are actually tag teaming it, but yes.
Okay, great.
So, yeah, so my name's Abe. I'll get going. I'm the MC of the poll. I get the fun job. We're going to use the first question as kind of a test. We have some trivia questions sprinkled in here and there, and this is one of them. So let's test this out. What is the city motto for San Carlos? So we have 5 choices. Preserving the past to enhance the future, land of gracious living, city of good living, America's finest city. Somebody should just throw us off and put down the wrong answer. So
And then
it looks
while folks, sorry to interrupt you, Abe, I'm getting a couple direct messages from folks on Zoom, or excuse me, Slido issues. And so if you are joining the meeting via your internet browser, you're going to have to create a new tab to open up Slido.com if you're using your phone or even your desktop. You'll have to open up a new tab so it doesn't kick you out of the meeting. Sorry, Abe.
no worries. So it looks like we have 94 participants in this question.
And then quick
Is that
question
right?
to Rachel, if somebody's using their phone, they don't need a browser, they can just take this quiz on their phone, right? Or answer these prompts on their phone?
It would still be through their internet browser.
Oh, okay.
It's just whether you're viewing it in mobile orientation or on your desktop orientation. And Abe, do you want me to show the correct answer?
Yes, I think everybody knows. So 95% got it correctly. City of good living. The great motto. And we'll go on to the next question. So we'd like to know your connection to San Carlos. So please check all that apply. Living, working, shopping, eating, using a service, own a business or commercial property in downtown, or just curious. So let us know all that apply.
There's no right answer for this one, just in case you guys were curious.
Okay. Let's get to that 90, 95. Okay, so a lot of you guys eat, shop, or utilize the service in downtown, so that's great. You're visiting. Many of you live within walking distance, which is absolutely wonderful. And a lot of you are just curious, which is great. And then some actually of you do live in downtown and work in downtown. Okay, next question. So this is a free response. If you could describe downtown San Carlos in one word, what would it be? So I see vibrant, charming, chaotic, youthful, livable, friendly, haphazard, congested, fun, cozy, pleasant, yummy, lively, messy, more fun, another fun. Oh, a lot of funs.
Jamie, did you have something you wanted to add?
I just wanted to let everyone know that you can join this at any time and so you can go ahead and scan that QR code. If you are having trouble, don't worry. We are going to be posting an online version of this wherein you go to the city website. It's going to be, we're going to kind of refine it a little bit. All of these questions will be there, but we may add some more, so stay tuned. But if you are just not feeling the mood tonight or you're struggling to participate, please know that there will be additional opportunities in the future to go ahead and share your thoughts in this exact same sort of format.
Okay, Rachel, you want to go to the next
Yes.
question? Which of the following improvements would you like to see in downtown San Carlos? And here you can check all that apply. So that you have a list of 7 options and do check any that apply for you. And there, many of them will be popular. That's how we made the question. We rigged it. So it looks like we're getting, let's see, 50. Wait a couple seconds. So a lot of interest in beautification, street trees and landscaping, additional outdoor gathering and seating areas. So that includes plazas, pocket parks, paseos, enhanced outdoor dining, enhanced aesthetics of commercial character and building design, and public art. And still a good number of highlighting culture and history with plaques or signage and gateway and wayfinding. Okay. Why do you currently go to downtown San Carlos? And again, please do check all that apply. Shops, restaurants, culture and entertainment, personal services, mixed use. Oh, that is. Yep. So mixed use is a mix of 2 uses. Here it's described as lofts or apartments above retail, restaurants, or office. So this question actually, Rachel, is, we got it mixed.
Sorry, Abe, what?
Why do you currently go downtown? I don't know why mixed use.
There's some downtown.
is on
Hey.
there.
Looks
Yeah.
like restaurants are the big winner though.
So people go restaurants, shopping, personal services, and then a little bit of culture and entertainment, and gathering spaces. All right, let's go. So here's a fun trivia question. The namesake for Drake's is located, at the corner of San Carlos Avenue and El Camino Real is. So let us know the namesake for Drake's. Why is it named Drake's? Anybody think it's the rapper? That was a giveaway. So 90% have the answer correct. Is that right, Rachel? That Mr. Friedrich Drake is known as the father of San Carlos.
That is correct.
Wonderful. Okay, next question. Along Laurel Street, the 600 to 800 blocks. So this is the center core area from San Carlos Avenue to Arroyo Avenue. Which of the following uses would you like to see? And again, check all that apply. So again, this is the center core area. The block of the street closure is the 700 block, and then the 2 adjacent blocks on either end. So it looks like we'd like to see retail. What's the top one? Restaurant and retail, very popular. Mixed use, which I described earlier, is another popular use. And then less so professional offices, a couple other medical services, boutique hotels. And standalone is actually a low response. So next question. Along El Camino Real, which of the following uses would you like to see? So again, retail, restaurant, professional office, medical services, auto-related uses, hotels, mixed use, standalone housing. And let's see how this varies from Laurel. Let's see how it varies from Laurel Street. So we've got, is the top professional offices, retail. Okay, oh, they keep on
Neck
going
and
back
neck.
forth. Retail and professional offices, we need a tiebreaker, somebody tie break it. Mixed use is a popular response for El Camino, as well as services and restaurant. Looks like hotels and auto-related uses, standalone housing at the bottom of the list, but still over 30, around 30%. Okay, we got the tie break, so professional offices wins. Next trivia question. The citizens of San Carlos voted to incorporate as a city in either June 25, November 1922, January 1940, June 1933. And the answer is, oh, it's pretty close. Let's see. The answer is June 1925. Is that right?
Yep.
All right. So incorporated in 1925, almost 100 years.
Abe, real quick, can you move your microphone a touch closer to your mouth?
Yep. How's that?
Much better. Thank you.
Okay, sure. Thank you. How do you typically get around downtown? And this is also check all that apply. So walk and assistive devices, that means electric or manual wheelchair or walker. And then you'll see the other options and do check all that apply. So it looks like the top is, what's the top response? Walking and assistive devices. Almost everybody walks, that's the expression. And many people drive. So about 3/4 of you typically get around by driving. Most of you end up walking, and a good portion, 1/5, 21% do get around by biking. So that's great to hear. A little less public transit, rideshare, and skate and scooter. So thank you for that. Next question. Which of the following mobility improvements would you like to see in downtown San Carlos? So again, do check all that apply. All right. Give 5 more seconds because it's close. And we've got popular answer of enhancements to alleyways, improved sidewalks, enhanced pedestrian crossings, and then a decent number for additional bike lanes and bike racks, and access to the Caltrain station, improvements to public transit, and a little less interest or prioritization of shared e-bikes and shared e-scooters. But still some interest there. Okay. If you parked once and walked around, how far are you willing to walk to your destination? So thinking about if you have one or more destinations, how much are you willing to walk? So we got lots of folks are willing to walk 5 or 10 minutes. I'd like 10 minutes to win out. Are we gonna get 10 on the top? So we did. Thank you. So 10 minutes or 5 minutes, which is great, and 2 blocks. And 1 block is just 4%, half a block, 1%. So where do you prefer to park when you visit downtown? So currently when you come visit downtown, do you most often use street parking, public parking in lots or alleyways, behind businesses, public parking structures, private parking associated with the business, or you do not park in downtown? Maybe you just walk there, or you bike there, or take transit. So this illustrates the multiple ways of parking downtown and getting to your destination. So there's actually good usage of public parking structures. So like Wheeler Plaza, Samtrans parking structure, it's over 50%. Street parking is around 50%. And surface lots and alleyways around 40%. Then there's also private parking associated with the business you're visiting. Great. Okay. Next question, we're almost there. What is your favorite downtown to visit on the peninsula other than San Carlos? So again, a free response. So we've got a lot of Burlingames. Redwood City, Palo Alto, One Mountain View. Looks like Burlingame, Redwood City, Palo Alto. Those seem to be the top. Los Gatos, Los Altos. Ah, there we go, Burlingame, Redwood City, and Palo Alto. Oh, there's a little note about Burlingame downtown. So this is great. Another Los Gatos. Got it. There's a comment there about paid parking, Burlingame and Palo Alto. And that kind of wraps that question up. A lot of Burlingame, Redwood City. And I think, Rachel, we have one more question.
I'm just going to let this one participant finish.
Ah, sure. Yes, somebody's, oh, a couple of people typing. Take your time. Got it. Another chat about the paid parking.
Alrighty. Oh,
Great.
on to our last question, Abe.
Sure, let's go. So here's another trivia question. The massive stone blocks used to make the San Carlos train depot were excess materials from the construction of what destination, building, university? Got a lot of folks that think it's Stanford. Is it a trick question? Southern Pacific Building? Rachel, has anyone said Berkeley? Ah, yes, okay. Okay, so Rachel, the answer is, there we go, Stanford University. So definitely looks a bit like Stanford, Richardsonian architecture. And Rachel, is that the final question?
That is correct.
Wonderful.
Yes. And thanks for the great feedback. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen. Lisa, if you want to go ahead and share yours on the remaining slides.
Yes, thank you, Rachel. I will do that. But for some reason, it takes me all the way back to the beginning. So just bear with me 1 second here. And I am going to get repositioned. So thanks everyone for your participation. And just to clarify, Rachel, will those results be placed somewhere on the project website?
After the close of this particular survey, Jamie mentioned there's the expanded version that will go on the website. But yes, the results will be posted as part
Great.
of the whole workshop summary.
Right. So eventually this will be all integrated into a larger response, which we can share with the community on the website. Perfect. Thank you so much. And thanks to everyone for participating in that. Hopefully that was some fun and interesting way. This is our first time using Slido, so let us know what you think of it. At least for the city of San Carlos, if you participated in any of other workshops, that this is our first time using Slido. So before we move on, we just wanted to take a moment to pause and respond to some clarifying questions in the chat. We did receive some comments and some questions that were probably are going to be directed towards our FAQ sheet that we're putting together. But there were a few that I think are worthy to kind of answer now. One of the questions posed, I think this was Lena, thank you, Lena, for the question, which was, why are we doing this now? And is there a plan that's going to expire soon? And so the response to that is we currently do not have a plan for our downtown area. We do have a comprehensive general plan that covers the entire city. But because of all of the transformation and change that has happened over the last couple of years, and for reasons even before the pandemic took place, there was a need and a desire that the city needs to look at its downtown, especially as it relates to, the streetscape, the amount of real estate, if you will, for people to walk. We've always gotten comments about our outdoor dining situation, that sometimes that's a little bit challenging to navigate as a pedestrian or maneuvering, a baby stroller or your dog around, all of that. And it's time to kind of take a really good look at our downtown, and the opportunity that we have before us is to create a specific plan that will help kind of put together all of the best ideas, how we want the evolution of our downtown to kind of unfold over the next couple of years. So this is a really, quite frankly, an amazing opportunity for everyone to kind of get together and think about downtown San Carlos and develop a vision for what we want our downtown to look like. Some of you in your responses about the downtown thought it was messy, or maybe it needs some help. So this is the opportunity for us to get together, develop a plan, and figure out how we're going to address these issues so that we can get started working on the improvements to our downtown. So nothing's set to expire. This is brand new. The other question that I think was important to clarify, we might have covered this in the presentation was, I think this is from Mary, was whether there are any decisions, has any decision been made on the permanent closure of Laurel Street? And the answer to that is no. We're not coming in with a preconceived idea or how this should be addressed. We're really here to listen to you as our community members, to work with our consultant team, with professionals to figure out, what is the best solution to address Laurel Street. So we get to do that as part of this process. And then the last question, I think that was a clarifying question. I think this is a good one just to answer anyway, for the benefit of everyone. And I want to have Al answer this, because Al, I think you have the answer to this. Don't know, but I think I know, but I'm not 100%. So I want to ask you, but this has to do with the public parking at Samtrans. There was a question by Maggie, and it isn't altogether clear whether the parking at Samtrans is public. So Al, if you could jump in and answer that question, that would be great.
Sure. Thank you, Lisa. Yes. So the upper floor, the top floor of the Samtrans parking garage is available to the public. So the city has a lease on the top floor for the Samtrans parking garage. So anybody can park there. So feel free to do that if you want to visit downtown. We've mentioned it to all the businesses in the downtown, and we've encouraged their employees to park up there as well, because sometimes they park in public parking and then have to move their cars every couple of hours. So yes, it's available.
Great, thank you, Al. And then lastly, there was a question about the use at the existing San Carlos Depot. And by the way, that the depot is not included within the study area of the downtown specific plan. So that won't be addressed or considered as part of this particular planning process, but the folks that are in charge of the leasing of that space are Samtrans. So I'm not aware of any particular application or plans on what a future use within that building could be, but as a planner here at the city, I can tell you that some of the commercial spaces are getting leased up on the buildings that are framing the historic depot. So that's great. And those will eventually activate the space at that particular plaza. So I just wanted to acknowledge that there are some other questions in here. We are going to be putting these together in an FAQ. There's a lot of good questions and good observations that we're going to get to with respect to cars and traffic, and really drawing, other types of businesses to the downtown. I saw some comments and questions on those. So just wanted to acknowledge those really quick. So thank you for that. We're going to go ahead and move along here. And if I can get my, not sure why this is happening. Great. Just to get my screen activated and going here. I wanted to just orient everyone here kind of to the big picture in terms of where this project is going. Of course, thank you for being here tonight, and thank you to those that are watching the replay. This is just the first of many opportunities to get involved. We have a total of 3 workshops, community workshops, that we have identified for this process, including some study sessions that we're going to be holding with the Planning Commission and City Council throughout the life of this project as well. We are currently in phase 2, which you can see right here on this, phase 1. I'm getting ahead of myself. It feels like we're going to phase 2. There's a lot of pre-work that goes on before we even get to the first community workshop. So apologize for that, but we're really in this sort of initial phase where we've collected a lot of data. We've had site tours with our consultant team. We're putting together information. Things are starting to come to the surface. We're having our first workshop with you. We're having some additional workshops with an advisory committee. As we mentioned during the course of this presentation, part of this process does include meeting with a 19-member advisory committee that was appointed by the council. Some of you may be on that or you were aware of it, but this is kind of where we get to roll up our sleeves and dive a little bit deeper into the discussion with this Downtown Advisory Committee called the DTAC. All of the DTAC meetings are public, so you're welcome to join and listen in and speak during public comment at those meetings as well. Once we get enough content from the community, we are going to be putting together what we refer to under phase 2 concept plan alternatives. And we want to show some different solutions or ideas and bounce those off of the community, work through those with the DTAC, and then based upon feedback, your feedback from those alternatives, we'll eventually get to a phase where we're creating the preferred concept plan. And then we go ahead and actually write the specific plan document, the actual plan, with all of the goals, policies, objectives, the standards for how things should occur, streetscape design guidelines, and so forth into that plan, and then bring that forward in sort of like this open house venue where we'll get more feedback from the community on that. Again, more study sessions with the Planning Commission and City Council, and eventually bring all of that together for the adoption process, which will occur in early 2024. And then the target is by March 2024, we have a plan that has been adopted and supported by our City Council, supported by our community, and it's a plan that we can go forward with to help guide the evolution of the downtown over the next 10 to 20 years. So here's a couple of items that we just wanted to make sure you all are aware of. And that is the project website. Some of you are here because you visited the project website, you know about it from a friend, but the project website is a great resource, and we're going to be putting a lot of content, the replays of all of our workshops. A lot of good content is going on the San Carlos Downtown Plan.com website. So it's a good idea to bookmark that. It's a good idea to go to that website and sign up to receive notifications. If you haven't already, please make sure to do that, because we do have a growing email distribution list, and we want to make sure that we notify everyone in a timely manner if there's some new content or some new information or new tool that you can utilize and as part of the participation process on the project website. We have an interactive map that is provided on the project website as well. We'd like you to participate in that. There's also a self-guided tour you can take if you'd like. You can actually find it really quite efficient to navigate through the downtown on foot. It really doesn't take too long at all as you navigate through the study area. Online questionnaires are going to be coming soon, as well as the announcements of additional community workshops and other upcoming events. We will also be advertising and notifying on the website of future Downtown Advisory Committee meetings, as well as all of the other study sessions and formal hearings that will eventually be provided for on the project website. And throughout the life of the project, if you ever have questions about the project or want to drop us a line or have something you really need to share, you need to reach out to us. Please drop us an email at advancedplanning@cityofsancarlos.org. We have a team of folks that receive those emails, and we will be readily available to respond to you. As I mentioned before, here's just another slide on the project website. This is what it looks like if you haven't been to the site already. Please do visit it and bookmark it. And here's just a snapshot of this interactive map that we currently have available on the project website. You can actually, I think the way it works is you can put your cursor anywhere on the map and notify us of a particular, idea or comment, concept, or issue, even issue area or something that you feel really needs to be finally addressed within the downtown plan. You can geo-reference your comments using this interactive map. So just want to make sure that everyone is aware of that, and that you are know what it's about, and that you have an opportunity to utilize it. So now we are going to invite you as an option. This is not required. It's not a required part of the workshop, but if you have some extra time and would like to join us in a breakout room you are invited to join us there. You'll automatically be sent to a breakout room. So you don't really need to do anything, just stay on the line here. And you'll be sent to a breakout room where you can meet with city staff, where we can have a conversation. If you want to share anything, we're really here to listen. There's a number of folks here on the city side and on the consultant side ready to meet with you. But if you'd rather just send us your questions, again, feel free to send us those to advancedplanning@cityofsancarlos.org. Just so you know, the breakout rooms are not recorded. You will be able to turn on your camera and request to be unmuted. So if you'd like to stick around for that, please do so. But I will share right now that we will not be returning and reconvening as a group altogether. So once you're in the breakout room, you're going to be with city staff or consultants and having a conversation there. And then the meeting will end automatically there. And so finally, thank you so much for participating in this first workshop. We're really glad you're here. This is a really exciting project, and we're very excited to continue to work with you and come up with solutions for our downtown. So with that, I think I don't need to do anything else. Rachel, are you automatically going to assign us to a breakout room?
Yes, just give me one moment and I will I will engage the breakout rooms and folks will be prompted to join.
Great. Okay, thanks everyone. And